Okay, just hold on. Hold on and relax. You've been sending all these applications everywhere. Any job description that you see and you see that you think that you have the qualifications, you go ahead and apply for a job. You really don't care how the job is, whether you have everything that you require, but you just go ahead and apply. And then you have this feeling of naweza bahatika. Well, companies are not just going to hire based on naweza bahatika. It is not a trial and error method. It is something that they need somebody who is qualified, has the necessary experience for the job. They are not just hiring based on, let me try, I might get the job. Now, for example, I have here a little job description that I want us to look at. And when we are talking about this, for example, it's a job description and it is a Sai Suits apartment hotel hiring. The position they're hiring is front desk agents, that is casuals, and the location is Westlands, Nairobi. Now, the requirements for this, number one, a diploma or a certificate in front office or any other related course. Now, that is the very first thing. And that is where the moment most of us look at that, I see I have a certificate, yes, or I have a diploma in front office. Let me apply for this job. I can get it. Why? Because you see that you already have the necessary documents. But now, that is where you go wrong, because companies are not just looking at the necessary documents. Number two, among the requirements, this is where most of you normally forget. Like, you don't really care to look at all of these requirements. Number two, they have talked a minimum of 1+ proven experience. They are talking about an experience and they have said a minimum of 1+. That means you must have experience, and this experience must be proven one. That means you are not just going to apply the job and you say, I have an experience in front desk. I have an experience in whatever application or the job description that you have been given, and you say, I have an experience in this, I can apply. They have talked about proven. That means you must have worked in such an area previously, and you should be able to prove. You should be able to prove that, yes, I've been working in this area, and this is what I used to do. By proving, they should be able, for example, even to call you a former employer and request for your information. And the former employer must be willing, ready, and able to give that information. That is what we are talking about, 1+ proven experience. Number three, personable when dealing with guests. That is something that somebody will not be able to learn. But at the period of the interview, when they are interviewing you, they will be able to look at you, ask you some of the questions, and the way you respond to them. Whether you are somebody who is temperamental, they will be able to understand, to know this person is very temperamental. He's just the kind of person whom the moment you ask him something or you step on his toes, then that is it. He loses his cool and is not able to communicate well with the guests. Number 4, professional phone demeanor. A professional phone demeanor. Imagine you're talking to a client. A client has come, for example, maybe to book for a hotel, for a place to stay. And then this client is talking to you and you are busy chatting on your phone. Imagine how the company is going to feel. You are busy on your phone talking and you're like, what do you need? You need a room? Yeah, we have 3 rooms, and you're busy concentrating on your phone. No. When you are speaking to the guests, in this case, they require someone who is not going to be busy on his phone while communicating to the guest. They need somebody who will be able to set aside his personal business and work for the company. They do not need just someone who will not be in a position to control these two. Because you should be in a position to control yourself, the way you are working, and also control the way you work for the company. And those two, they go hand in hand, because if you can't control how you're going to use your smartphone at a place of work, then there is no way you are going to even work for the company. Another thing they have talked about here is professional form demeanor, which I've talked about, and then excellent customer service skills, and lastly, must be flexible to cover all shifts, both night and day. Yeah, you might be flexible to cover all that. You might have excellent customer service skills, but the way just one thing might be able to throw you out for you not to be able to get the job. So after you have done all these applications, now look at some of these other, because you might have all these requirements, but another thing is they have talked about the duties that you'll be able to work in. Now, when somebody, for example, is asking you, and you have written your CV so well, and then now during the period of the interview, they ask you, how are you married or you're not? And then you are somebody, maybe you come and you say, okay, I'm married. And then they ask another question, where do you stay? And then you would talk about the place where you stay and all of that. You see, they will be able to gauge and say, no, this person, despite the fact that he is married, the place where he's staying is very far, and therefore he might inconvenience us, despite the fact that he really needs this job. But he might inconvenience, because we need somebody whom we can call at any period, at any point in time, and the person is going to move close, and he's going to come here to help us. So you see, we are having some of the things which you normally never look at. You just go ahead and you look at the certificates alone, and then that is it. And then you say, let me just apply, maybe naweza angukia. Let me tell you this, you need to stop. You need to sit down and look at the skills that you have. And when you, for example, you have concentrated on a certain type of job, you have concentrated, or you have these certain types of skills that you need, you require, you already have them. You need to look at the job that suits those skills. Because right now, companies are not hiring just the people just because you have the papers. They are hiring based on the skills. What else can you give us? Yes, you are somebody who has all of these, you are someone who has all of these, the requirements that we need, because we needed somebody with all these requirements. Now, what else do you have? You can say, for example, I'm computer literate. Good. Everybody is computer literate. Everybody can operate a computer. But yes, you can, because you can operate a computer, yes, but there are some things that you are not able to do them. Opening a computer is not all about it. You have opened the computer, you have gone ahead and, for example, you can put on a movie and all of that. No, it's more than that. Are you able to work with Microsoft Excel? Are you able to work with Microsoft Word? Are you able to work with Microsoft Access? Because there are some of the things which they will just require you to do. And if you are able, you should be able to specify that in your CV among the skills that you have. Then we will go ahead to the part for example, the certifications. Apart from what you have, apart from your diploma, apart from your KCC certificate, apart from your KCP certificate, what else do you have that can really help us as the company? And so, another last thing, how have you written this certificate? Because you see, how have you written this CV? Because you see, what really happens is the way you have written your CV really matters on the type of person that you are. If you have just disarranged your CV and you're expecting that somebody is going to hire you, then you are wrong. There is what we call the ATS machine. It is a software that most companies have installed, in that the moment somebody applies for the job, then what happens is that machine is able to take only those ones who are able, who have qualified for that job. And so that is the only CVs of the resumes that are going to go to the next stage. And so for you to make your resume to reach the next stage, you must be able to make sure that you have written for it to be ATS compliant, especially those of you who are applying the jobs and you are sending them through emails or company websites. So stop, relax, look at your resume and ask yourself, do I really qualify for this job? Because before you apply for it, you must feel that you qualify to apply it. Don't just go ahead and apply and hope that I'm going to be called. You'll find you will apply even 20 times in a single day. and you will not even be called in a single job. So before you do that, ask yourself, do I qualify for this job? Do I have the necessary requirements? Do I have the duties and the responsibility that they have written here? Am I able to do them? Don't lie on your CV. Then you get the job and you're not able to work. That will ruin you. And that is not important. It is not going to help the company. I wish you all the best in your journey as you look for that job.